The house, when we first got into this project, when you walked into the house, it was dark. It was a very, very dismal place. As a matter of fact, I'm probably not the only person that thought bulldozer in mind when we first got into it. So it really caused me to think and ask God, you know, can we do this thing, you know? And the answer was yes, you can do it.
And I was asked to come and look at the project to see if it's doable. I met Steve Eckert and Ty McCoy there, and my first thoughts as I walked through the house was bulldozer. It was pretty bad, and I build new homes, and so I thought it'd be maybe much easier to start from the foundation and work up. But realizing that wasn't a possibility, my next thought was that, you know, this is doable, but you know, if 2 or 3 people show up to do this, we'd never have it done by Christmas.
I'm amazed at how ordinary people could come together and how God brought us all together. It started really with 2 ladies that had contact with another lady in great need, and not necessarily the resources to help, but believing that God somehow would provide and help, and just trying to be obedient. And it's amazing to look over the progression of all of this and realize that 2 ladies and then a group of 20-somethings that did some initial cleaning and clearing out, and then a men's breakfast group that went over and got excited and began to work and gathered others in, and to probably somewhere around almost 50 people at one point or another have come and gone from the house and invested in some way, cleaning or working on the yards. And to me, that's amazing. We could have never imagined that God would do all that, all that He would do. He is certainly able, but to see all that and know it was way beyond what we could even truly ask or imagine, but we believed He could do something. It's been amazing.
As we began to take the first step, and a lot of times that's the hardest on any project, is getting started. And then it was so encouraging and so exciting to show up, and other people had been there. Other people had already worked. And so part of the project was, part of my excitement was seeing so many people involved.
Mostly what we did was rake leaves, but we did pick up some trash. There was trash laying around.
There was a knife. There didn't have a handle. It was just a knife.
Maybe pieces of glass.
No, just the sharp piece.
Oh, okay. It looked like a small yard when we drove up.
But it was bigger.
But it was a much bigger yard than we thought. So it took us a little while, but we had some good teamwork. So.
From doing all this, what do you think was something that you came away with and you're like, oh, that was awesome that we learned this? What would be that thing? What do you think?
That we got to help somebody when they were having hard times.
Yeah.
That we get to help people that are like, they're having hard times.
Throughout this whole experience, it's allowed me to see God's reflection in many people. It's allowed me to interact with people on the project and certainly personnel, people the project was for. It allowed me to get to know them in a deeper, more intimate way, and actually be able to encourage them in different ways as well.
Probably my favorite story is how the air conditioner was provided. There were certain requirements that were needed, and I had talked to Richard Judkins about the air conditioner and sent him the specifications one day, and he called me and said he'd just been to his brother's house and had taken an old air conditioner out, and it was the exact match to what was needed. That was an amazing thing, the way that provision came in so many different levels.
You know, it might be just 2 or 3 of us show up and we'd never get it done by Christmas. But because so many people, in the grace of the Lord, so many people showed up, and we were able to get this thing done. And what a transformation. And then my next thought, as I thought through this, that that in God's wonderful grace, that's what man's heart was like, that house full of sin and dark, and God in his grace and marvelous wisdom sent his son to be born as a baby, to die, and his blood was shed that our heart may be white, and a transformation in our life. And as I saw the transformation of that, I thought about God and how he gave.